Hey everybody, and today we're going to be learning about lists in Python. So first, we're going to talk about what a list is. A list is just pretty much, it just puts terms together, or puts strings or numbers or whatever together. So they're often put in brackets, not that. So just gonna put a few strings together. And then let's see what happens. List.py, save that. And as you see, it will print the list. So that's pretty much that. So now we're going to find specific terms or specific like letters or numbers or anything in the list. So pretty much we will do the same thing we did last time. And then let's say we print this list. So pretty much what we're doing is that we are trying to find a specific term in the list. So what will happen is that it will give you that specific term in the list. So it will give you fat, because big is noted as 0, fat is 1, monkey is 2. So you're just finding a specific term in the list and it will give it to you. Next, we're going to do negative indexing. I did cover negative indexing in another video. The link is will be in the description below, so check that out. So let's put that as a -1 and see what happens. And as you see, it will print the monkey, because that starts as -1. It goes backwards when it's negative, just like a number line. So now we're going to learn about range of indexes. Don't completely erase it, because we're going to kind of use the same thing for a lot of the topics. So now we're going to learn about like the range of indexes. So we're going to use colons to represent stuff like that. I also covered this in another video. I don't remember which one, but when I find out, then I'll let y'all know. Okay, let's see what happens when we do a range. So what pretty much happens is that it will print from fat to monkey, because this is the first one, and then the fourth, there isn't a fourth term, but it still accepted it, and it just printed from there on. And then next is just the same thing with a colon and a 2. What this does is that it like this is the from here, like this is the second term, but this is excluded. So it will just go from here and it'll exclude this out of the list. And then if we do it with the colon after the 2, then it will just show monkey, because these two are being excluded and it will only show that one. So they're both opposites of each other. And then finally we have range of negative indexes. So let's say 3 colon -2. And as you see, it will just show big, because this is -3 and -2, but that one's cut off. Okay, and now we are going to be replacing items, so within the list. So let's try this. So essentially what this is doing is that it will replace tiger with monkey. Okay, let me check on that. Oh, I see. Let's make that a 2. And then try. And as you see, it replaces monkey with tiger because that's what we wanted to do. The second term in this set was monkey starting with big as 0, and it replaced it. So now we are going to loop through a list. What this pretty much means is that like it will just repeat and give you each term that is in the list. So let's say do this. I keep on deleting it, but make sure you don't delete it because it's just a waste of time having to type it in again. Oh, so pretty much we're going to use the for function, and it will help you be able to list all of the terms in the function. I'm gonna check and see. It might be a syntax error, I believe. Yeah, it's a syntax error. That should solve it. Oh, I see what happened. So it's print X. There, let's see if that works. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, so let's see what will happen if we put the colon. This should fix the issue. And as you see, it will now print each of the 3 terms or strings, in my case, in the list. So now we're going to check and see if a term in the list exists. So let's say this list. Okay, so now let's check and see and ask the command prompt if the term or the string monkey is in the list. And then let's okay, let's see if it works. I believe it won't work. Oh, and it says yes, monkey is in the fruits list, or yes, monkey is in the list. Let's try that. Yes, monkey is in the list. That makes more logical sense. Okay, so now we are going to be using the len function. I also mentioned this in a previous video. We will find the length, or how many terms, I believe, or what it will calculate how many terms are in the list. And it says 3. There are 3 terms in the list. So that's pretty much that. Now it's just how to add items in the list. There are multiple ways how to do this. And so the first way I'm going to tell you is how to use with the append function. So let's try that. Dot append obese. So let's say big fat obese monkey. Print this list. Let's see if that works. And it says big fat monkey obese. But let's say we wanted to put obese after fat. So if that was the case, we would have to say 1 because it's the first one, because big is 0. And then put quotation marks. And let's see what will happen then. Let me go back. Okay, so instead of using the append function, we should use the insert function because it will insert obese into it. It won't append it. And now you see, it doesn't. Wait, let me try that. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Yeah, we wanted obese after fat, not before it. So yeah, that's how it should be done. So now we are going to learn how to remove items from a list. So this is also pretty simple. There are tons of ways to remove it, like 5 ways, I believe, how to remove it. So first we're using the .remove function. So let's try that. And let's print the list. And as you see, it removes big and it just puts fat monkey. And then the other way is to use the pop function. So let's do pop and then try that. And it just gets rid of monkey and it does just big fat. And then we can delete a certain term in the list. So let's say we want to delete the first term. And as you see, it does delete the first term. So it just says big monkey. We can also use delete to get rid of the whole thing. So we can just okay, there, no. Oh, whoops. Okay, there, that's done. Okay, let me check on that. So I think this is the one that doesn't need to use the print function because we're changing it, but we're like not really deleting it. We're just like, we're not like adding anything. So I don't think okay, so let's try that again. And it just says false. Let me try that again. It shouldn't give out as a false. It's not a boolean. Okay, but anyway, it should either come out as false or an error because it just shows that it successfully deleted the list. I believe that's the case. Okay, so now, oh, whoops. So now that we got that over with, we still got one more way to remove a list. And so that way is to use the clear function. So let's use dot clear, 2 parentheses, and then let's print the list. Oh, whoops. Let's do that. Oh. And then hold on a sec, let me just quickly do that. Change it. And as you see, it has successfully cleared the list, the whole list, and it'll just give it out as brackets. So that's it for removing lists. Now we're going to talk about how to copy lists. Keep deleting the list. Okay, so now to do that, we are going to use the copy function. Dot copy. Close it with 2 parentheses. And then let's print my list. And as you see, it just prints your list and it copies it. That is the same thing with what we're going to do later on. The other way to copy a list is to just restate your list, I guess. So just list this list, and then let's print my list. And then see what happens from there. And it just copies your list. Same thing with what we're going to be doing later on. So the second to last thing we are going to be working on is merging lists. By merging lists, we are combining lists together. So let's say list 1 is just terms or letters. So let's just make ABC. And then let's make list 2 numbers. And then let's add the 2 lists. Or no, we're not going to. Yeah, we're adding the 2 lists. 1 plus list 2. And then let's print list 3. Because simply what we're saying is that list 3 is merging list 1 and list 2 to make a completely new list. Or I should say a set. And as it does, and just as you see, it combines both the lists. And yeah, that's the result. So the other way to merge lists is to once again use the for function. For x in list 2 colon one dot append. We're using the append function once again. And then let's print the list. And as you see, it still combines the list. So either way, these all work as combining lists. I just prefer using the first one because I'm more that way. And then finally, last but not least, we are going to learn the last way to combine lists, which is just essentially just using the extend function. So let's say list1.extend parentheses list2. See what happens from there. And it still merges the 2 lists. So yeah, that's another way to merge the list. So those are the 3 ways to merge the list. Either one using the math with the addition, one with the append function, the other one with the extend function. The last, but the not least, is the easiest one. It makes a list based on which terms you put in, which is kind of the same result as what happened when we copied the list. It will give you the same result. So let's do this list. Let's make 2 parentheses. Oh yeah, by the way, for this one, you can delete the whole thing, or you can just replace the brackets with 2 parentheses. And then let's print the list. And as you see, it will give you the list, which is what we wanted in the copying list. It gave the same result. So those are pretty much about lists, what they are and how they work. Hope you learned something new from this video.